And we're back from the Bay.
We went to the Bay for like...
For what? Tell them.
Am I allowed to say this on this?
You're allowed to. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're allowed.
Guys, I got a one-line role in a movie that actually... It's a small role, but I'm very excited about it because these directors are super dope.
Yeah.
And I am very excited to be part, even a small part, in such a cool project. And to have my first SAG movie
Under the belt.
In the Bay. Taking place in San Francisco.
In that hometown.
In my hometown. It brought up a lot for me, I will say.
What did it bring up for you? I never heard this.
Well, I've been talking to you about it like for all day.
Yeah, you did. You have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron and I are kind of in a funk in our relationship right now. But, you know, we'll dig into that later. But honestly, this
whole endeavor, would you like to
Yeah, so once I had one small line, but I did still feel like a queen because, you know, they do your hair, they do your makeup, and it was just a really cool experience. And I think after I filmed and then I came back here to LA,
right,
and I went back to my front desk Pilates job, sitting there for hours doing nothing while checking people in, I was like, what am I doing with my life?
Right.
Because I feel so close.
You get a sweet taste.
So far. And, you know, I think it's this idea of like, okay, I got a small role, so, you know, this could give me a good connection with, you know, the people on set. But it's not like it's like a career launching, you know, thing.
Right. You ain't quitting work for this.
Yeah,
one.
You're not going to quit work for this. And I think the thing is that I can see myself, like, I got a glimpse of, like, just even being on a set honestly felt so magical and so refreshing, and I was so happy, and it felt natural. It felt really natural to, like, just, it didn't feel different from, like, obviously it's different because we have to do, like, 5 million different jobs when we're filming our own work, but, you know, like, creating a short film with each other, it didn't feel different than that.
Right.
You know? And it didn't... like, everyone just felt connected on set. Everyone knew what they were talking about. Everyone was really sweet and kind. And I don't know if it was because this specific project, like, I haven't worked on a SAG project otherwise, but it felt, even though it was like part of the industry, it just felt like familial and warm and happy. And I think, like, sometimes here, especially in this neighborhood, even though it's
people are nasty.
It's just like the type of Hollywood that just feels so inaccessible.
You'll go down to get a coffee. It was pouring rain. We had a flood. Probably people are saying it's one of the biggest floods in decades.
Yeah.
And you go down to the fancy hip coffee shop down the street, and it's filled with people who, like, don't even look human.
What do you mean?
Like, they are so beautiful, they don't look human.
That is, you guys, this is like so mean
We'll
to say.
be in, like, I'll be like, oh my God, we're like in, like, you know, an unfamiliar neighborhood territory. And then it's just like on the strip, like on the corner, like walking down, or like models. And you're like, well, where the hell did these people come from? I mean, it's like offensive to me. I'm offended.
I'm offended by their beauty too. And maybe it's just because I'm jealous. Like, people say when you're offended, you're probably jealous. I don't know if that applies to all things.
Right.
But maybe it applies to beauty.
Like racism.
Yeah, I was thinking it definitely doesn't apply to racism.
Not in that case, you guys. I'm not jealous.
Sometimes beauty standards, they're fucking racist. So
that is true. High five to that one. Yeah.
In this, I don't know. It's also like celebrities, quote unquote, will come into the studio. And like the way that they just kind of like all know each other if they're famous. It does feel like this really like it click that is inaccessible. And I've said that before. And it's not no one's fault. It's just that they know each other. And I'm like working front desk at a Pilates studio. Like, You know, like who's going to be like, oh yeah, my girl, you know?
I would.
Of course you would, because you also just sit at home and rot.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I don't know. I think I'm frustrated because I went to SF, filmed my first ever movie.
Woo!
And then I spent time there. And with family, it just felt like things were happening
Felt
at
good.
home. It felt good. It felt nice. It felt familiar. And yet it felt like I was moving forward. And I feel so stuck here right now. And I don't know. Like, I've talked to Erin about this all day. Like, I've been like, because I think I always throw around the idea of moving home.
Right.
But I am really serious about it right now. And I think that, like, staying here right now feels like I'm waiting for something instead of living my life. Because I don't really want to live, and this is no shade to Los Angeles, but I don't really want to live my life here unless I'm acting.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I'm not acting, I want to be in San Francisco.
If you're not sure, okay.
Because
that
I'm
makes
not
sense.
acting here. And I feel so stuck because, like, you're surrounded by it.
Yeah, you're surrounded by, like, I was walking. It was, again, during the fucking flood. Like, you couldn't even see. Oh, look who's here. Look who loves the freaking spotlight. You'd be like, I was walking down the street, and it's like, oh, like the nice, like, little pottery studio that's always just, like, there. And then they're filming a movie in there. And I'm like, yeah, they were.
Well,
I don't know what, but it looked fancy. And they were doing some pottery in there. And I'm just like, you guys, like, what are we doing here?
so you feel that way too?
Yeah, I do feel that way.
Then why are you here?
Why am I here? Because
Because you don't have anywhere else to go.
Because I don't have anywhere else to go. I mean, it's not that I don't have anywhere else to go. It's like, out of, like, all the places I think I could be, this makes the most sense for me at the moment. Do you feel? And I'm not like, wow, this is it, you guys. Like, oh my gosh, like, my dreams right now are true.
No, but
In
that's
this
the
moment?
thing. Like, you said to me,
What did I say?
because it takes years to build a career, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, and I feel that, honestly, I don't know how it is for everyone else, and I feel like it's taboo to talk about.
Ooh. Let's bring it out.
No, it is, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you talk about really a lot of auditions or a lot of things with people around you, and you don't really know what their level of success or quote-unquote what they feel like that means.
Right.
I feel like any ladder that I'm climbing is digital.
It's
It's
digital. You are auditioning online.
I'm auditioning online. I'm connecting with people through social media or
Right.
online.
Yeah, what the hell is that about?
I don't feel like I have to be here.
Yeah.
And at first I think it was like a pressure from my parents where I was like, okay, like they say you don't have to be here. Like, I'm going to show them. I'm going to move to LA and establish my own life and blah, blah, blah. But like at this point, I don't know. I was so happy when I went home.
Right.
And I was so like, I felt more free there to like be myself and to actually
I think
be
that when
capable. And I just don't, I feel like I can't do anything here. I feel so stagnant.
I think that when you're here, you also, and I do this too, when there's nothing, like, there's almost like when you're home and you tell people in San Francisco that, like, you're an actor. First of all, like, you were home because you were filming something, so, like, that's kind of lit. But then at the same time, if you're telling people that, like, oh, I live in LA and I'm blah, 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 doing this shit, they're kind of like, oh, that's, like, cool because it's different. Not everyone in San Francisco is, like, doing that. Mm-hmm. Here, like, everyone is doing something. I'll go, like, we'll get mail, and we'll get mail from, like, SAG, or we'll get mail, and it's, like, for someone else. Like, random people's mail that gets thrown into our address is, like, from SAG. I saw, like, or, like, from some adjacent studio. Like, I'll go to the coffee shop. I left Alcove. You were like, oh, why'd you leave the coffee shop you were at? And I was like, girl, there, I couldn't stand like this 23-year-old group talking about how they're gonna like write something. They were talking about something they were gonna write. The last time I was there, it was like these like comedy writers. I wanted to take a gun and put it in my mouth and explode.
Were they good?
No, they had like a skit about Jeopardy. Like, it was like a Jeopardy thing. It was like, and then that, like,
But you know
like,
what, Aaron,
I
like,
think,
at least they're doing it and
no,
you're not.
I think, okay, but here's why I'll push back on that. I'm going to push back on that a little bit. Because I think, yes, they are doing something, but it actively is making the world like, the world, I think, is worse off if that thing gets produced. From what I heard specifically.
Do you think that you're better off?
I think that out of the
Do you
little...
think you're bettering the world?
Do I think I'm bettering the world?
With whatever you're not creating. Because here's my thing. We're not doing it. We're not like...
We doing this shit, though.
Yeah, of course. Like, this is our pod, but we could do this from anywhere.
Okay,
That's
I'm not
what
talking
I'm
about... Okay. I'm not even talking about justifying us being in LA. Like, I'm kind of actually appealing to like the other side a little bit. All I was saying was, every time I think, like, honestly, it has sort of deterred me from wanting to like make things, because I'll go to the freaking coffee shop and you'll see like a grunge group of freaking kids talking about the next big thing.
I agree. It sucks.
And some people, I guess, are inspired by that. If you are, I hope you die.
I used to be inspired by that. And you want me to die now?
No,
I know you want me to die.
No, I want you to live.
You want me to die?
No, I want you to live.
I don't like you right now.
Why?
You hate me.
I love you.
Okay. Ew. Feeling... Please don't touch me.
No.
We have to cut that. We'll just...
It's okay. We'll keep it in. No, it's good to be raw and real. You used to be inspired by it.
I used to be inspired by it. Like, I remember when we came to visit and everyone was like acting and writing, and I was like, wow, this is the place to be. Like, everyone is doing this, you know? But now I just feel like a really, really, really tiny minnow in a big, big ocean.
A minnow?
I'm a minnow.
You feel like a minnow?
I am a minnow. And I feel like in San Francisco, like, I'm able to grasp onto real things.
Sure.
And like ground myself. And I remember, like, I'm going to throw a stuffy poo under the bus, but my cousin, he's lived here for years because he went to school here in USC. And he was saying when he was moving, obviously this was a rocky time for him because he was moving from USC to an apartment here, and his girlfriend was moving in with him, and he was kind of
deciding. He was having a tough time.
He was having a tough time, like that average, like, moving out from school to kind of settle your life. And I remember he kept saying that he just feels, when he was in USC especially, he kept saying, I just feel so much more grounded and myself when I'm home. And I remember at the time, like, I couldn't really relate to that because I think a lot of stuff was going on at home, and I think it's gotten a lot better now, so I feel more connected to home.
Right.
In a way, I feel like maybe Estef and I have switched places a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was also living in Michigan, and I knew Michigan, like, wasn't where I was going to end up. So I didn't not feel myself at Michigan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I do think that there is something around the air of Los Angeles where people are just trying to be something else.
Well, he was saying, he's like, I feel so grounded at home. I feel more myself at home. And I was like, I feel like I'm myself wherever I go, you know, like, maybe it's just because he's in this turbulent time, which it probably was. But then after living here for a year and a half, I totally get what he's saying. Like, it's clicked in my head. Like, I feel so much more grounded in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to feel grounded when, like, everyone who sells you coffee just has that mustache.
Right.
just everyone is trying to be like that thing, whatever their like version is of that thing. Like no one is like out here trying to be themselves.
Yeah, like even when I went to like this bar with my friends, and it's like actually I found it on TikTok afterward. I went there and it was like, if you want to see hot guys, go to this bar.
Really?
And everyone was like grunge with their like Ben Davises and like wife beaters and like chains.
Where did that come from?
Which I'm gonna
dude?
be honest, like people actually wear those things in San Francisco in a non-ironic way.
But it's totally manufactured in that environment,
like
dude.
They are taking, and they were beautiful people, gorgeous people, and they're like all chain smoking cigarettes, all like the size of the tip of my pinky.
Right.
And I'm just like, I will never look like these people.
And it's not even that. It's like, what?
I'll never be this like it was like they were posing for a magazine.
Yeah.
And I think I just feel so lost right now because when I went to go film that thing, I was like, this is actually just what I want to be doing.
Right.
I don't really care where I live. I don't really care, you know, who I'm with even. I just want to make things.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, there's just like this, especially like we've been talking about like the social life here and why I'm almost like adverse to it, why I feel sometimes adverse to it. Like the idea of like going and trying to meet someone. Remember when we were at that like weird when our friend was trying to sell their lamp and it turned into like this weird thing with this person
Our friend
who
tried to sell her lamp on, or she bought
she was
a
buying
lamp
a lamp off Facebook Marketplace. And then it turned into like this like this group date almost.
The guy
she was attracted
bought
to
her
the guy.
lamp from. The guy she bought her lamp from, she invited to get cake with us. And then we all ended up having dinner, but she never met him. And then she decided like 5 minutes into the conversation that she was no longer attracted to this man.
Right.
So I was the only one talking to him because
okay. I mean, I was disinterested. I had nothing to say.
It doesn't matter if you're disinterested. You have to fake it if someone's in front of your face.
To fake it till you make it.
No,
okay.
I'm talking out of common courtesy, Aaron.
Out of common courtesy. I mean, he chose to also like come to this thing. Like, I'm not gonna feel inclined to like or obligated to.
Well, maybe he was trying to put himself out there.
No, that's really nice. That's really sweet. Although I think he also kind of represented a archetype of a person that would live in Los Angeles that I don't like. I think he was like a museum curator.
He didn't bother me. What bothered me was
bothered
like,
me, dude. He bothered me.
What bothered me was that
It was me.
No. Well, yeah, you did bother me because you didn't speak to him and I was left alone talking to him.
Actually, you guys left to go grab something, and then we actually talked about his ex-girlfriend for like 5 minutes.
What did you say about her?
He was like, yeah, she's Hispanic.
Classic. He was Speeb written all over him.
Like, he was only... he was a white guy, like, totally, definitely...
If a white guy is interested in travel and music...
Yes.
And he feels somewhat artsy, but doesn't
He's into
really
museums.
have a good passion... He loves Hispanic women.
Yeah.
He loves them.
Definitely.
He thinks that it's just a taste of adventure.
Oh, yeah.
I know because I know.
You've dabbled.
I've dabbled.
In the men that dabble in you.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
All to say...
I mean, there is actually a lot wrong with that. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know. It's interesting because you have places like, San Francisco... which has a very... and obviously there's a lot of history in LA, but I'll circle back to that, but like in San Francisco, you have like a very rich history of a city that just works together. Similarly with New York, like you have different industries there, and it's not just all one thing. I feel like if you are in Los Angeles, it is either... to have some kind of relationship with the arts, especially if like you're moving there, And I just feel like a lot of the people that I've met here, and perhaps it just hasn't been like the right people, but a lot of the people I've met here are like, they just make me want to take a stick of dynamite and then shove it up my butt and then light it from the inside.
It is funny because I was talking to these musicians who are living in San Francisco. And they're saying, like, it's good. One of the guys was like, well, I wanted to start our music career here because it's a smaller group and it's easier to gain traction, in San Francisco. And the other guy was like, yeah, but I've been saying that we should move to Miami because that's like a big music scene for Latin artists.
Sure.
And because I really feel like there's more room for us to grow. And like they kind of were having this debate of whether they should just try to grow in a small area like San Francisco or if they should take the big leap and go to Miami. And I didn't even know what like advice to give them because they were like, how is it living here versus if you were living in San Francisco? And I'm like, really? I didn't try it in San Francisco. And in LA, like, I don't feel like I'm making in-person connections. I feel like everything that I'm doing, like that audition grind, is happening online. So I feel very disconnected from everything.
Sure.
And I don't know. Like, sometimes I think to myself, like, here we are, both shit-talking LA, right? We live in this city.
Right.
We are paying money to live here.
True.
So we shouldn't be shit-talking it because we live here. We are one of the people that are not from LA,
right,
moving here to pursue this crazy dream.
This is true.
And we are one of the people that we're talking about that we hate.
I know.
And that's scary.
Yeah.
And you were just sitting here with me like for 2 hours today on the couch telling me how I shouldn't move back to San Francisco. But now I'm like, Aaron, what do you actually think?
That's a good question. What does Aaron think? Well, okay. There's a few things that I think. One of which is...
Because I want to have like a real conversation here. Like I really do.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Sometimes I'm going to be real with you. I feel like you say what you think will make other people happy.
Okay.
But I sometimes don't know what you actually think.
So what do you want to know?
Well, you just had a 2-hour conversation with me about how I shouldn't live in San Francisco.
Right. And
now you're telling me that LA's a shithole and makes you want to put dynamite up your ass.
My booty, yeah.
So that doesn't sound like a place where I want to be.
Okay, but, and this is what I was coming around to.
Right.
Okay. There are things that I do not love about Los Angeles, and a lot of it has to do with there's a feeling of people trying to kind of be something maybe perhaps that they're not, or maybe something that they want to be. That being said, like, I don't know, there is still something that I like about at least people are trying to put themselves out there, and I genuinely don't know where else I would be. Where else would I be, dude?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good reason to stay somewhere.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's a good idea to stay somewhere because you don't know where else you would be.
I
don't know. Like, I'm having a lot of issues, I think, with what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And with you particularly.
Okay.
In a loving way.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Thank God it's not hateful.
But, like I was saying to you, you're like, well, we're working toward it. It takes time.
It does.
And I get that.
300 subscribers, baby.
And I get that. Well, yes, but we could do this from anywhere is what I'm saying. We are not growing. We are growing in the way that, like, we're growing with auditioning. We're growing with, can you back up a little bit? With making a podcast. We're growing with, these sorts of things.
Right.
But that does not have to do with where we're living. That doesn't have to do with the connections that we've made. That doesn't have to do with being in a city where everyone is doing the same thing.
Okay.
And I get that you're saying that it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
But then why would we spend our time somewhere where we're just struggling to get by when we, in this day and age, could be spending our time in any city while we're pursuing our dreams? Because I don't think LA is the same as it used to be. I'm not driving to auditions.
Right.
I don't know about other people. I'm not driving to auditions. I don't feel like I have to be here. That's what's driving me crazy. Because if I was working toward the career, if I was doing the thing and I was doing it specifically in relation to this city, I would feel better. But I'm not. I could be doing everything that I'm doing now in San Francisco, in New York, in Chicago, and wherever I want to go. And I think I would enjoy the people more or my surroundings.
Right.
And maybe I would be able to do local theater while I pursue auditioning. And if I have to move back to LA, I have to move back to LA.
Right.
But I think that's like the dilemma that I'm having right now because I'm like,
the Sophie's choice. Sophia's
Aaron,
choice.
don't make a joke about that.
Oh.
It's a sad movie.
Yeah, so sad. This is a sad movie too. Well, good thing there's only one. Could you imagine?
If it was between you and Donna?
No, if there were two. Like, let's say we took Donna's sister too. I had the option to take Donna's sister.
He said no. He rejected her.
She had anyway.
What?
She couldn't go to the bathroom.
She's conservation?
She was going bathroom everywhere. This was when they were babies. I wasn't about to take two cats in.
No, we were
ATM.
It was honestly, if you're thinking about getting a pet in college, do not do it. Do not get a pet
I'm
until
happy
you
we
own a house.
I'm happy we did it. That we got the pet?
I'm happy we did it, but I would have never done it on my own. And I have to say, everyone was saying to me and Aaron, you guys are crazy for getting a cat 5 months into your relationship. Donna was supposed to be Aaron's cat. This was not my choice to adopt a cat. And she just kind of became my daughter because she loves me.
Give her a pet while you do this.
But Donna was not a planned thing, and I would not have approved of her.
Right.
I did not want a pet, and I do not think you should get a pet in college.
Sure.
I
wanted one.
You don't want to make them traumatized when they're moving everywhere. And then,
But here's the way I think about it. She was adopted in a time where no one was adopting animals because we got her during COVID. She would have been put down. We kind of saved her.
She was so cute.
We rescued her. We literally rescued her.
Yeah, we did.
She was from a shelter. It wasn't
and she's special too, so they definitely would have.
No one would have went for her.
She's so cute though. No, I think they would have.
I knew when I saw her photo, I was like, that's the one.
Really?
Yeah. They sent the photo and I was like, I want her. That's what I said. I emailed immediately.
We watched Aristocats the day before we got her.
Yeah.
Dude,
it was perfect. For in that time in our life.
It was good. I sometimes wonder if we move too fast with everything in our life.
Whatever, dude.
You say whatever because you just don't think about you don't think things through.
Yeah, I do.
And now we're out here stuck in LA together and we're about to break up.
No, we're not.
I'm going to keep telling people that just to stir the pot.
Stir the bone broth?
Well, the thing is if I go back to San Francisco, Aaron won't come with me. Right.
That's the dilemma, you guys.
So I might go for a couple months, see how it is, and then we'll see.
Yeah. I do. Here's the thing. I truthfully feel like if we moved, we would fall out of this completely.
If we moved as a unit, maybe, but not if I moved.
I think if you did as well.
No, I wouldn't because Aaron, I don't give up on anything that I do. You don't know me.
But that you'd be giving up on
this relationship?
No.
Aaron.
It's just a freaking storm thing.
Flash flood warning.
Flash flood, classic. What else?
Oh
LA.
My god! I thought.
What'd you think? We were freaking dying.
The piano was playing.
A piano?
Every time there's rain, it's a flash flood warning.
Okay, but this one's actually a flash flood.
Oh my God.
What?
He got his close up.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's adorable.
He's so cute.
Shout out to Gold Toes,
Yeah.
my scene partner.
He's so sweet.
Much love. You're the best.
You know he demanded that.
I love him.
Like a CP.
CP is cutie pie.
Anyhow. Okay.
You think I would lose it? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't, Aaron, because I'm always on the grind.
You are always on the G. Obviously. But
I think you think I would lose it, but what are we doing here?
I think we're doing more than you think.
You are on Hawaii time constantly.
What does that mean?
Like, okay, it goes like this. New York time, when people come from the East Coast, they visit California, they say to me, I could never live in California because it's way too slow on the West Coast. And I think to myself, that's fucking embarrassing. We got to speed up our time a little bit here.
You're on East Coast.
I'm not on East Coast. I never lived on East Coast. I'm living California time wishing I was East Coast. I see influencers.
You move. That's the thing.
No, listen to me. I see influencers.
See, that was quick.
And I see them like getting up at 6 a.m., like going their little workout class and putting on their makeup, doing their get ready with routine, having like 5 meetings back to back, and then doing all their other stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I wish my life was like that. I don't want to be an influencer at all. But I do want to have activity, and I want to be buzzing, and I feel like I'm waiting for something to happen, but it's not fucking happening, and it just feels like, oh.
You want things back to back to back to back back
I
back.
do.
You just want your day lined up. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, especially when we're in a process of like where we're writing something or creating something,
sure,
that's just not how it's gonna work, and that is when I'm at my mentally lowest, because
you are
when we are writing or creating something, first of all, inspiration doesn't just hit you and you like sit down and you're like working for 5 hours straight. No, you have to eat about 50 snacks before you can even get one idea.
Are we talking about me or you?
Me.
Oh, yeah.
Before you even get one idea.
Where did the snacks come from, dude?
You don't eat snacks when you write? Doesn't everyone?
Yep.
No, then it's just because I'm not a writer.
You are.
No, I'm
talking about myself. I thought you were talking about me.
No, I'm saying that when anyone writes, when anyone's in a creative process where they're not like having to figure out logistics or they're not like memorizing lines, when they're actually creating the work from scratch,
right,
and coming up with ideas, you're basically sitting there for like half the day rotting away until something strikes you. You're having anxiety attacks. You're eating snacks. You're feeling guilty because you're not working, but then also you feel guilty on working on something else because you're like, well, I'm, taking time away from this. And my point is that,
yeah, it doesn't have the pizzazz. It's the thing with writing. If that's what you're talking about, it's just completely up to you. Like there's no schedule, there's no structure. But it's not even
really up to you because I don't think I'm a very good writer, so maybe this is the case. But like, it's not like you just sit down and work for 5 hours straight. Like if I had I can work on a script. I can sit down, work on a script, run through the show about 2 times, really work it out, and from beginning to end of my rehearsal, I know I'm going to be better. Or I'm going to have accomplished something. But when you're writing, it could be like, I spent a whole day on bullshit. Was this even worth it? Delete it all. Where am I? There's no like forward process of writing.
This is the thing with Zhu. This is the thing with Zhu. And I think that this is one fundamental difference between us. Zhu are, I want to see the gains right freaking now. Okay? You want to hit the pump? See the mirror, the post-pump difference. It's true, right?
I always see a post-pump difference.
Right. You want to pump the booty and look and go, ooh. That's legitimate. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not that I don't enjoy the process.
I'm not saying that you're not enjoying the process, but the process does feel better when you are seeing something tangible as a result. And the problem with, for example, writing, is sometimes you're going to have, and like frequently,
Or maybe acting too, because I'm not really seeing the results of that either.
well, I mean, I think that that's like more conditional than writing is, because it's like you have to be given that opportunity to even do that to an extent. I mean, you can like do a monologue on the balcony, but the fuck, we're going to take you to a mental hospital if I wake up at 3 a.m. and you're like doing freaking Hamlet. About to turn you in.
Continue, please.
All to say, I don't know. It's like with ratting, or which I truly believe is the only thing that I think that's kind of a standalone in the way that sort of operates, because there's nothing that exists until it's written, and until it's done, it doesn't matter. If you're 3/4 of the way, doesn't matter in terms of like a product. So it's really just whether or not you can get it done.
And I don't feel like I'm efficient enough to get it done.
I think that very few I think very few good writers are efficient.
Well, I think I'm really good at looking over your shoulder and making sure that you're getting it done.
I think anyone
And
who's
that's
like
also just exhausting in its own way.
right.
But that's also an excuse. Like, I'm not going to try to make excuses for myself right now. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know. I also feel like would I be creating these things if I had different opportunities? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like, would we be creating our own work if I was already being cast? Probably not.
No.
So it's like, what I really want to do is act.
Yes.
But I'm, like, grabbing at straws for other opportunities, making it for myself. I don't know. All this to say, you were saying that, the process is gradual, that it takes time. And I agree. Like, it could take 5 to 10 years to become a quote unquote successful actor, where you're like, I mean, like, working and getting paid and being able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm waiting for that moment, I'm always going to be doing the work in my own way, but I don't feel like the work is necessarily being done in LA. Like, I feel like I can do the work anywhere. And I feel like I've always done the work anywhere. I did in fucking Michigan. But do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, maybe if I was happier in a different place, I'd be more efficient.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's valid.
And sometimes I think, does this relationship distract us from what we have to do?
I genuinely don't think so.
That's just because you love me.
Maybe on like a social level of like going out, in terms of like the only potential thing that inhibits is potentially like nightlife, which I'm disinterested in anyway. But that's actually, when I take a look at it, the only what do you think it could be? Because that's genuinely, when I sit and think about it, the only thing. Because if you wanted to hang out with certain friends, you could do that.
Obviously, but the thing is that I don't want to, because I'm with you. Like, sometimes I think, when you're in a relationship, and I've been in a relationship for the majority of my life, I think that's what sometimes scares me.
Right.
Because I have really only been with someone.
Okay.
And I like the feeling of being on my own. And I feel that independence when I'm with you most of the time, which I think is why this relationship works so well.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, I worry that us spending time together stops you from writing, or stops me from trying to find other avenues, because
I don't think you're relying on me.
I feel like sometimes I am, because I think to myself, I'm like, okay, we're going to make this film. We're going to do this. We're going to follow these steps. And then I can start advocating for myself.
I think you do advocate for yourself. And like, if it's a matter of finding other ways to put your eggs in other baskets, it's like, I don't think just because we are working together on things, it's inhibiting you from exploring other opportunities. Like, I genuinely don't think if we weren't together, and I'm even thinking about this like for myself, I don't think I would be in a position where I'd be doing anything else if we weren't doing this. In fact, it's like at least I'm fucking doing something with my goddamn life.
But that's just because you're obsessed with me.
I mean, yeah.
I know.
You're obsessed with me. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You're smiling. Oh. I don't know. I understand why you feel conflicted, and I feel
Grass is always
conflicted
greener.
too
It's always going to be
sometimes.
greener. But, and I know, like, there is this thought in my head that maybe I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And that this is the only thing that I have, this relationship.
No, that's
and
not
that
true.
really freaks me out because I do feel...
You don't think you would be you think you would be in San Francisco if it wasn't for a
I think I
relationship?
might have gone home by now.
Wow.
Maybe. Or maybe I would have had a different life. I don't know.
A different life.
Who's to say, Aaron?
Report of assault with a bag of quarters? What is going on?
Please stop reading that.
It's in Culver City. Classic. Of course it is. They would have nothing to do there and hit people with quarters.
I don't know what I'm saying. Clearly, I'm like just word vomiting all of my doubts and problems onto this
It's okay.
podcast. And I'm sorry for all you listeners. I really appreciate you hearing me out.
Well, I think, like, honestly, like, doubts are pretty common now. Because it's been like, yeah, we've been out of school for a year and a half.
But we said that when we graduated.
What you mean?
Doubts are common.
Yeah, and they're still
So
it hasn't
are
been that
doubts
long.
just common your whole life?
It hasn't been that long, buddy-o.
It hasn't.
I was at the haircut. I was getting my little haircut, and the guy was like, "Oh," because we were talking about. Because I was like, "Oh, you know, my partner's been talking about a lot about San Francisco and like wanting to move back."
Tea that you told him.
I mean, I don't think it was like.
Yeah. Continue.
And he was
I
like,
when people gossip about me.
"Yeah," and
Get
because I was like,
excited.
because he was talking about San Francisco, and because he was talking about wanting to open up another studio there, another haircut place. He's like, yeah, and go bounce back and forth because sometimes my wife works there occasionally, and he lived there for like 13 years, and he loves it there. And I was like, yeah, you know, my partner's from there, and you know, we were just there. We love it there. She was talking about missing it and wanting to move back too. And he was like, "Oh, how long have you guys been in LA for a while? How long has it been?" I was like, "Oh, you know, we're coming up on a year and a half." And he like started laughing.
Well, of course, because that's not considered long for LA. People get stuck here for centuries and then they never leave. Don't you
Century
get
City.
that? But don't you know that? Like people will look like they're 21 and be like, "I've been here for 6 years."
Right, and be
on
like
the
50.
grind. And I'm like,
I question their grind though. JK.
well, do you though? Because if that's me 6 years down the line, Aaron, I don't know if I can fucking do this for 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. Wow, dude.
Like, to me, if the grind is similar, I do not want to spend 6 years in LA unless I'm working.
That's fair.
If I'm a working actor, fine. I'll live here for the rest of my life. You can bury me in Century City. But what I'm saying is I cannot be here watching other actors come in and out of the Pilates studio, making out with each other in the streets. I can't fucking do it anymore. I need to be one of them, or else I'm going to...
What are you going to do?
I'm going to be...
You're going to share your plans.
I'm going to have a bag of quarters.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I feel the same way.
So you always
Every
say
time
you feel the same way as me every day when I say something.
But I
I'm
think
like,
we have
you-
different outlooks on how we want to go about dealing with that.
Really?
What option do we have? Huh? What's the option? What's the option but to continue
Go
on?
home to your family.
Okay, yeah, you have a pretty nice family.
Yes, and they support me.
Yeah, they do.
And it's not like I'm giving up on a dream because I'm not, because I'd still do the same thing. And honestly, I think my auditions turn out better in San Francisco.
Yeah, why is that?
Don't you think?
Do they?
Yeah.
Where'd you film the thing you booked? Ooh, in this living room.
I didn't book that role, though.
Yeah, but you did book it.
What are you doing? Don't check your phone on the podcast. It's so rude.
I've been like, sorry, I know this is like a sidestep. We'll loop back, but I've been like posting like every other day reviews on Google reviews, and
Wait, what?
Like as a like you know how you can review like restaurants and stuff.
What have you been reviewing?
Well, it all started with that donut place, Saint Honore, that piece of shit donut place. I'm here to start the beef, guys. Like,
He roasted them.
yeah, I roasted them because they're literally okay. If you're a restaurant and you're literally trying, there's this restaurant in Hawaii that has lived down the street from me. It's been open for like 20 years. It's called El Burrito, and they microwave their food.
Oh yeah.
It's fully just
It's a
frozen.
Mexican restaurant in Hawaii. Don't fucking trust it.
If it's literally like just frozen food that they microwave. Like my parents went there and they dropped off the plates. They're like, "Be careful, the plate is hot." They literally put the plate in the microwave. Like you could hear them putting shit in the microwave.
Ew.
But you know what? That is a local business. They might not be trying very hard, but they're still out there. You know? What I have a
we don't
problem
have a lot
with
of resources.
what I have a problem with is fucking like restaurant tours in heavy quotations that just like go on social media and like pay influencers to come in and like give them a good review or like make like a craft thing and that like a craft donut that they can sell for $10 to people.
Yeah.
Okay? Like you're literally a scam artist. Like you're no better than the people in Times Square that dress up as Disney characters. You're no better than Elmo Disney.
I hate those people.
Yeah, they scare you, huh? The restaurateurs who like are freaking viral on TikTok, they scare me. So yeah, I left a bad review of this place in Vegas because also I could see the disappointment in your eyes.
Total reason that I went to Vegas was to try this viral donut shop. I'm a sucker for viral restaurants. I'm a sucker for trends. I'm a sucker for sexy food videos.
It was sexy.
And I wanted to try their donuts. I was so excited
sexy.
about it, you guys. I was so excited. And I went there. The donuts were stale. They were clearly days old. It was just bad. I still ate it, though, in the video if you want to drop it below because I'm a hungry girl.
You are a hungry girl. But basically, my review has received like over 10,000 views.
I wish that this happened to our podcast.
I know, like what the hell, you guys, get on with it. And it's received a lot of likes too. And so I started reviewing a lot of other places. I reviewed Pacific Cafe. That's gotten some good stuff. So yeah, I've just been reviewing restaurants, like passively.
See, I feel like you can invest your time in something really random and then still be happy.
I don't know if it brings me like happiness.
Like,
It's
I
just
honestly
like something I
think that
can
you
do.
could do any job and you'd be just as happy as if you were
No, you say that. Do you actually believe that?
Yeah.
For granted, like you truly believe I could do anything and be happy,
For granted.
and as happy as I would be if I was doing something creative.
I think you get really stressed out when you do creative things.
Yeah, but I really
More
like
than
doing
I've
it.
ever-
Creative stuff stresses you out, so that's not a fair margin.
It does, but everything stresses me out. I would never leave Google reviews because that's extra stress. Every single thing.
You think that doesn't bring me happiness? It's just like
No. I'm not saying you could do Google reviews for a living. I'm just saying, like, if you were like baking pizza in an oven and selling it out your window, which I do think is actually just as hard as an acting career, I think that you would be just as happy as if you were doing this.
no,
Yes,
incorrect.
Aaron. Everything makes you happy. If it's a side of me, everything makes you happy.
What?
With me there.
Oh, with you. You know I like you.
You're obsessed with me.
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly ridiculous. Don't wink at me.
You like it. You freaking like that I'm obsessed with you, and you're obsessed with me too.
I'm
Like, I
obsessed
like
with
that
you
you-
in his own way.
I like.
My own way.
Yeah, in your own way, you like me.
I think you're talented.
Okay.
I think you're creative.
I don't know if like this pushback of Aaron, you could literally be like selling cars at the Toyota dealership
Whoa,
in
I
North
didn't
Hollywood
say that. I
and
didn't
like
say
be
that.
thrilled with your life.
Look, this is what I do think though. I think that you could be a stay-at-home parent and you would be
No.
happier than if you were a director.
That's so categorically untrue.
Okay, so then let's just not have kids.
I
I'm not okay.
pause.
I'm not okay.
Well, how did we get from that to that?
Right.
If I'm the therapist, I got out the straitjacket just then.
The straight jacket.
For you, not for me.
Aaron, I just have been having doubts about a lot of things.
I understand.
And I think, like, my life doesn't feel as full here. And I know that you're not going to come with me to San Francisco. And
You were saying you didn't want me there.
Aaron, you're not gonna come with me. You said to me the other day. You said, "I'll tell you what I won't do for you. Go to San Francisco."
I didn't say it like that.
You did, because we were fighting, because we were
We
in
were
love.
not. We actually. What the hell? We were not fighting. We were actually having like a really productive conversation.
Yeah, which honestly, it felt too real.
Yeah, it felt too real because there was no fighting. There was just all love.
It
It was
wasn't.
like at the end of Maestro, when
Please don't reference Maestro.
when Carrie Mulligan, who's playing Felicia Montealegra.
Bruh, enough with this whitewashing. I can't.
Yeah, how is that allowed?
Of course it's allowed, because it's high art. In high art, I
Yeah.
feel like they still do blackface.
Yeah, you probably.
Look at opera. They
That's
do. They do
true.
blackface in opera.
Yeah, they do. Or they're winding down to that, but like just.
I remember I
starting
went to a ballet camp at the San Francisco Ballet, and this woman was talking about all the various roles she played in the ballet. She was a white woman, and she's like, and then I played a Spaniard, and they darkened my skin for it, and they put on this black wig,
Whoa.
and I was like, and everyone in all the little girls, like, we're all 12, they're like, wow. I mean, ballet is just filled with racism,
Right.
but I mean, that's like a common thing to like actually like darken someone's skin is like that I feel like we're like pretty past that.
Yeah,
But opera and ballet, they're still
they're still back
they're
there.
still pumping that out.
Yeah, they still pumping it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, there's a moment in the movie where they hug and they're like, "There's no hate here." I wanted to throw up.
So he left her?
No.
Did they die married? I don't know the story.
Yeah, they're still together. Although, I don't know. Yeah, they got married. He's like banging a bunch of dudes, and she gets cancer, cancer, and then dies.
Didn't you say he was bisexual?
Yeah, he was bi, but they don't really like treat him as if he was bi.
Like they just are like, he's a closeted gay, because that's easier to explain to an audience.
They definitely delve more into the affairs he's had with men. Like they make an extra effort to point that out. They don't really dive into him being with any other women.
Interesting.
Like they reference it once, but they never dive into him having affairs with other women, even though he had plenty of affairs with women too. Had affairs with both people. And the thing is, like, okay, you can have like this whole, I don't want to get into fucking Maestro. Okay? It's really not worth it. The movie wasn't good enough for me to even dispel my review into Maestro. Okay?
We saw the nose and we knew our review.
We saw the nose and we were like, okay, well, we know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Truly. They had, Bradley Cooper did like, because he's like really horny for an Oscar. He like posted like a video of him getting into makeup. I'm like, this makes it so much worse because they darken him up for it too.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, they're doing brownface for Jewish people now too?
Yeah, like what? You don't even have to do that.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, they made him darker. Nasty.
Nasty.
Maestro is nasty.
It's nasty.
Yeah, anyway. All to say, we're like them though in real life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
'Cause you're Jewish and
I actually am Jewish.
Yes, I'm actually Latin.
Yeah, you are.
Carrie Mulligan ain't.
Yeah.
Why are we like them? Because you are having gay affairs?
Yeah, exactly. No. I don't know. That was more of a joke. All I'm saying, even referencing Maestro was kind of just me being a little silly up in here.
It was being like, you're a guy writing in a coffee shop in LA.
Yeah.
I feel like we're at a tense time in a relationship, but our love hasn't decreased. Do you feel that way too, or do you think I'm just having an anxious episode?
I don't think we're tense. Do you think we're tense?
I mean, I'm about to move to San Francisco and leave you here.
I mean, we're like, I think
if that happens, it's like done.
I think you need a change. Okay? You need a change up. Okay?
Yeah, I
This
agree.
is true.
I agree, but I don't know how to change.
So, what are the ways that Sophia can change? A little change up.
Honey, I don't know. I've been asking you that for 2 days.
It's not
What?
that long of a time.
This feels like eternity for me.
I know.
I'm not patient, and
know.
I go crazy. And I honestly, here's the thing. I think that maybe if we broke up, like, I could have a few affairs here and there, but I don't think I would be able to find anyone that can tolerate me the way that you can. And love my imperfections. Like, you really love the crazy within me, and you know how to tame it in such a beautiful way. And I've never,
I'm like Life of Pi. You're the tiger.
I am the tiger.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that, like,
They're trying to fucking Life of Pi too.
yeah, for sure. Shut up. Life of Pi made me so sad in, like,
Why
a
is
deep
that?
way. Because there was no release to it that I felt.
Oh, there was no release? I felt like there was a
I didn't
release.
feel release. Like, it felt almost too artistic for me to feel connection to it.
Did you have an argument of Life of Pi
I
with
did.
someone? Why is that?
My Uncle Jose.
Why was there an argument?
We all watched Life of Pi. We were in a
Together?
bad place. Okay, we were in this place called the Monkey House, is what we called it.
Oh my
because
god.
there were so many stairs to get to the top of this place. Where it was a friend's of a friend's house somewhere in the middle of nowhere for our family vacation with all my mom's side of the family. There were not enough rooms to fit us all. The water was poisonous that we were swimming in.
Oh, that's not good.
And so the little kids who couldn't swim without swallowing water were throwing up all night.
Oh god.
And so was the dog.
Oh.
So, and we were crammed into this tiny house, and we had to climb all the way up this stairs. It was sweltering hot. We had to all squeeze into a kiddie pool because the water was poisonous, so we couldn't go into the lake.
Oh, that could be really bad for you.
Yeah. It was pretty nasty.
Anyway, Life of Pi.
Anyway, we watched Life of Pi, like, to just have a night, a family movie night.
Yeah, that's actually a good movie for family.
Do you really think that?
Life of Pi?
Bro, Life of Pi is dark. For, like, a whole family, I was, like, 12.
I guess there were some younger ones, but anyway, continue.
Anyway, we watched it, and my Uncle Jose is saying to me, like, did you like it? And I said, I can acknowledge that it was a beautiful film. Everything was really great. There was no complaints that I had about it. I hated it.
Right.
And look, that's not to say that it's bad in any way.
Yeah.
It just made me feel, like, so sad in a way that I couldn't release it. Like, if I watch a sad movie, I need to have a release, and I couldn't get there in Life of Pi. So it just kind of felt like a stagnant sadness for me, and I didn't fully understand it, I think, because I was young. I think maybe
That's
if
fair.
I watched it again, I would understand it more.
Yeah, the book is much better.
But, you know, my uncle was saying to me, like, how could you say that you don't like it? You don't think it's a good movie? And I said, I think it's a great movie. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And those could be two separate things.
Okay, actually looking back, I do think because if I'm not mistaken, like, he's meeting with his neighbor at his neighbor's an author or something. He's meeting with him at a coffee shop, and he's reflecting on this thing from when he was a kid, this thing that happened to him, you know?
I think the whole thing made me really sad.
And so, yeah, actually the lens of reflection is a lot more sad, and there's no catharsis. So, like, I do agree. I read the book in high school, and it's current. So it's like as it's happening, and you see, like, his journey to acceptance with what's happened to him.
Really a person that loves stories about solo journeys. Any journey at sea, war is tricky for me.
Yeah.
Those sort of stories, probably because I've never experienced those things, I don't resonate with them.
Oh my God. Can I tell you something that I saw the other day? I was walking down the street. I saw someone sitting. I've seen a couple things in this neighborhood that make me want to blow it up. One of which.
You need to stop saying that online.
Sorry. One thing.
Did you order red vines?
No, I didn't do it yet. We can just go grab some after this.
No, I don't want to go grab some. I want them to come to my door.
I'll go get it, and I'll bring it to your door.
I don't want it.
It's fine. I'll do it. One of the things was the said coffee shop we've been talking about this whole time. Walked in there, and there were, mind you, this is not a coffee shop that people even sit at.
No.
It is basically you just get there, get your coffee, and go. There's like very limited seating. There's like a bench.
Like, for a reason. I think they want to keep it empty.
Yeah, because it's so busy. It's just like you can't do it. But it's A, not comfortable place to sit. And then B.
No, it's like wooden stools, like a stump.
B, even if they're like there's a million other places that are much more preferable if you wanted to actually sit and have a conversation with someone. Like, I wouldn't go there ever to do that. You go there and then you freaking leave. So I went in there. And mind you, like, this is a place where people are going to see you because there's like a line of 20 at all times. People are sitting at a seat and they're playing chess. Okay? It's these two people playing chess, and I'm already annoyed because I feel like they're sitting there so that we can see them playing like an intellectual game. And then I look at the board and it is so obvious that neither of them have like ever played in their life.
That's annoying.
I was like, you guys are what? Or it's like, you guys are like proving my hypothesis about like the fakeness of.
And you still want to stay here for a couple of years?
Okay. But I don't think it's not all that. It's truthfully not all that. That is there, and I see that frequently, but there's more than that.
That was really nice of you to bring me matcha, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love you. There's more than that. There are nice people here. It's more than that. But when I do see that, I want to jump off a cliff. Okay? So that was one thing. They were playing chess. They didn't play chess. They were just playing chess so that people could watch them play chess. Okay? And it was pathetic. Same block. Sitting at a cafe. Not cafe. The diner. The outdoor diner right next to it.
You know they got robbed?
They did.
Yeah. They got
When?
robbed on Friday.
How?
I don't know, but it scared me because it's right next to the Pilates studio.
Yeah. In the daytime? That place is so busy.
I don't know what happened.
Who told you that?
Obviously, Amanda.
Yeah, true. They got robbed? At night? They got broken into or
I don't know
during
if it
the
was
day?
at night or during the day.
I gotta look into that.
Mm.
How could you get... They're busy. That's a busy place. It must.
Yeah.
I wonder if they got robbed at night.
Probably at night.
But she said robbed, not a break-in.
Mm.
Because they're not open at night. Anyway, who knows? What? Yeah, I'll have to look. I'll look that up.
Well, I don't know if
maybe
they got broken into. I would say robbed for either.
Yeah. So maybe they got broken into. I don't know. Whatever.
She said something about breaking glass, so maybe.
Oh, maybe they left something out. Who knows? All to say, they were there, pre-robbery, sitting there alone, drinking a coffee, reading. Guess what book?
Great Gatsby.
Close. Worse. Close. I'll give you two more guesses. But in that realm.
In that realm?
Of book that you would roll your eyes at.
Have I read it before?
You definitely know this book. Think of that level of popularity.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
You're very close. And one more yes.
I'm very close.
It's in that realm. Like, if you said name 3, like, books, that would probably... You've got 2 of them, and there's one more. And it's worse. It's about journey, self-discovery. Kind of.
Self-discovery.
Like, youth, like, coming of age, question mark.
Oh, my God. I don't know.
Boy.
Oh, Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Catcher in the Rye? I have read that book.
Of course. He was
And I
reading
remember-
that.
Oh, was he sitting on the stoop by himself?
No, he
Because
wasn't on the stoop.
I literally looked out the window today of the Pilates studio and I see this man sitting on a stoop. Like, it's like the ledge of where the potted plants are on the wall next to the Pilates studio.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not a comfortable seat. He's, like, just sitting there stooped down reading, like, a paperback book. And I'm thinking to myself, at first I was like, oh, that's so nice that he's reading a book. Like, I'm here scrolling on my Instagram. And I'm like, you know what? I should really do that because my head's starting to hurt from all this. So I don't think I would ever sit down and read a book in the middle of the day on a stoop like that. I think I would just feel a little self-conscious. And now I'm understanding like that
They
he would
want to be seen reading a book in public.
Not Catcher in the Rye.
So this piece of shit was sitting alone at a diner outside reading Catcher in the Rye, not book down, book up to the streets, reading Catcher in the Rye, not far through it at all.
I remember remember when I was
Like, I'm sorry, if you are over the age of 15 reading Catcher in the Rye in public, you should be euthanized.
oh my god, Aaron, enough with the violence.
Oh my god, I'm just like, are you? There's no, that is indefensible.
It's yeah.
I have nothing else to say. I have nothing else to say.
And then so you're seeing all these things happening day to day. Like it seems like you've been seeing this a lot lately, and you're still like.
I kept that one in. I didn't even say it. I was so outraged I just kept it inside. I didn't text anyone. I didn't tell anyone about this. I wanted to forget. I wanted to lose my memory.
Sometimes I see things on the street.
That's worse than Great Gatsby, reading that in public.
Oh,
Catcher
yeah.
in the being a man that is a white man alone at a diner reading Catcher in the Rye.
Read it in the privacy of your own home.
That is something you can embarrassing to read that at all if you're not in high school, okay? Maximum requirement is if you are reading it at home, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You do not bring that book in public, dude.
Not at a cafe.
Throw up over here.
I'm sorry.
That's like till like, yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, this conversation hasn't made me want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in LA, woo, pursue the dream. It's
Right.
made me want to go back home, make some cupcakes with my family.
That sounds
watch
great.
See?
Frick.
What are we doing, bro? Your arguments are terrible, and they're getting worse. And I'm wondering if we should just go our separate ways.
Oh my gosh.
You go
Wait.
read Catcher in the Rye at the coffee shop, and I go bake a cupcake at home. And both are bad. Yes, both are cliche, but maybe that's what we need to be.
I want to bake a
doing.
cupcake right now.
Aaron, you don't bake cupcakes. I
What?
do.
Well, I want
Jeez.
to make one with you. Put some.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, no, look. I'm just trying to say that I see what is exhausting you, and also I do not like you are working in the center of that, and honestly in the more annoying sector of that, because you're working with like not even like
I'm working in between the chest sighting and the Catcher in the
you're
Rye.
working right in between those two, and I would argue you're in a place that is more that is perhaps like less tolerable in some instances.
I think it's better than the West Side.
No, I'm not talking about like neighborhood. I'm talking about like just where you're kind of sandwiched into. I think like you're in a vulnerable spot. That's all I'll say. Like I love this neighborhood.
Yeah, me too.
I ain't talking trash on it. I don't think I'd want to live in any other neighborhood. I'm saying that, you know, it is prone to a persona that, let me put it this way. I felt similarly when I was in Williamsburg, and I went rock climbing with my brother, and went to a gym, and I saw the bike rack, and I saw the fake grunge, and we walked down the street. My brother was like, "This is where all the white people live." And I felt similarly to it. I frickin' probably, I don't want to say I'd lived there, but I don't know. I got a similar energy.
Like the artsy kids who.
Yeah, the artsy kids.
Are we that?
The artsy kids?
I feel like my whole life, I'm Hannah Montana. I haven't fit in with the artsy kids. I thought I was like super artsy, and then I went to college and I was like, I'm not like this. And then I just never fit in with like, you know, San Francisco crowd that I grew up with.
Sure.
Either. So now going back to San Francisco, that wouldn't matter because I wouldn't have to, you know, hang out with those people.
Yeah.
But, you know, living here, it does feel like you kind of fit with a certain crowd, and I just don't know if I have the vibe of the neighborhood or of the city. And if I was working, I feel like I'd have a place where I belong, but like I am getting exhausted of saying that I work for a fucking Pilates studio.
Yeah.
I am
Valid.
so exhausted. And what, do I change jobs? Because I don't want another job.
That's
I want to
fair.
be acting. I'm so sick of not acting. I want to be acting every single day to the point where I get sick of it because I'm doing it so often.
Right.
Like, I miss it.
Yeah.
And that's all I really wanted to do. That's the whole reason I'm in this city. And I've been here for a year and a half, and I'm not doing what I want to do. So I'm like, why am I in this city posing as an artsy person when I'm not even doing the art? Am I the Catcher in the Rye?
Frick. You are not the Catcher in the Rye. You're the Great Gatsby. And we've been over this.
I don't like the Great Gatsby.
Because you are him.
Right. Why do you think that?
Because.
Because I like rich people? I like looking at them.
No, I'm the, anyway. All to say. I don't want to go into the Great Gatsby.
Caraway?
I'm not Caraway.
You're not Nick Caraway?
No.
You're Daisy?
I'm not freaking Daisy, dude.
Who are you?
I'm the eyes.
I'm not the Gatsby.
I'm the eyes.
The green light?
No, I'm not the green light. That's on the pier, dude.
Ew, we're sounding gross.
I'm not at the docks. I'm not the
You're
freaking
the
green light.
eyes?
I'm the eyes, dude. The
What am I?
billboard?
What am I?
I'm the billboard eyes. I'm
Yeah,
the
you are.
What are you? No, you're Gatsby. It's like, it's not even a question. All to say. Did you hear that? Did you hear that click click?
Yeah. Did you order me something?
Fuck, no, it's
Aaron.
work. Sorry, I'm busy.
Okay. All that to say, I hope you're all doing well. I think it's an interesting time for me and Aaron right now. I think we're figuring things out. I thought this conversation would help me. I think it's released something for me. Like, it's allowed me to speak with you guys, and that always makes me feel better. But I do feel still stuck in the predicament. And I am kind of leaning towards San Francisco right now.
I think, like,
I know it's probably not going to happen.
I don't know if this is a predicament that is gonna, like, go away with a single conversation. I think it's just, like, something we need to release when we feel it. And I'm just trying to say that, yes, I feel it too, girl.
Where are you going to go? New York?
Are we gonna go to New York? Maybe.
So you're going to go to New York
End
and
up
I'm
in the
gonna be
Hudson
San
River.
Francisco?
Sleeping with the fishes.
Do you
Brick
think that
tied
we
to
could
my
do
ankle.
long distance? I don't.
You're too free.
Too free? We would never be able to do long distance.
Just
You
kidding.
included. You're freer than me. When it comes to LD, when it comes to LD, you're freer than me.
Because that LD. Oh, LD. Sure. I understand.
Are you not?
Perhaps, yeah.
You're a little snake.
I'm a snake.
You're a sassy snake.
Don't you make a S sound now? That's naughty.
You're naughty.
You're naughty, bro. Okay, guys. Well, we appreciate you nonetheless for those who have made it this far. And for those who haven't, well, you're not even here. So what's the point of me even addressing you?
Thanks for tuning in. I really do love you guys, and I really appreciate you.
And happy 300 subs.
Oh, we have 300 now.
Yeah, we hit it today.
Oh, wow. Yay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get that up to 500 real quick. I want to grow. I want to see those numbers. I want you to put in the work. I want you to spread the word, and I want to see those gains immediately because you know how I work. If you want to work the slow train like Aaron, then you can also struggle with life. But if you want to be like me, you want those gains, please share. Please subscribe if you're listening.
What else?
We want to quit our day jobs.
Yes, that's true.
Immediately.
Yeah.
So save us.
That would be great.
Save yourselves. If you are working on a dream, keep working on it. I hope this podcast inspires that in you. FIFA fun bitches. We out.
We out.